Hey guys, so this is the third video in my series about how to become hired as a VIPkid teacher, and today I'm going to be talking about the first step in the hiring process, which is the actual interview. This is the shortest portion of the hiring process, but I would also argue is probably the most important part of the hiring process because this is the step that determines your pay. So I would encourage you to prepare, to listen carefully to some of the tips that I'm going to give you to make sure that you do the best job that you can in this interview. I think this is the most important part of the hiring process. I have a lot of people tell me that they are nervous about the hiring process. So I just want to speak to that and encourage you in that a little bit. I was definitely nervous too. So if you're in that boat, I've been right there with you. All the nerves that I felt were completely self-inflicted. From the VIPkid end, they were amazing. Everyone I met was so kind, friendly, helpful. They wanted me to succeed. In my head, I had it out that they were out to get me or to critique me or didn't want me to do well, which couldn't have been further from the truth. Everyone I met was so kind, so friendly. VIPkid was organized, efficient, friendly, kind. I just could not say enough good things about the interview process for me and how that went. So if you're nervous, if you're in the nerve boat, I just want to encourage you that you're putting that on yourself, and your nerves are going to be however high or low you manage from your end, because they are going to be amazing on there. And from my experience, it was a very good experience. The hiring process takes about 7 to 10 days. You go at your pace. They don't like you to drag it out past 2 weeks, but you can. I've heard people drag it out for 3-4 weeks. They do encourage you to kind of get through with the process. They like you to keep it neat and tidy in a 7 to 10 day window. And then once you're hired, you can start making money. So if you started today, a week from today, you could start making money. So it really is a quick process, but you do need to be prepared and kind of know what's coming and not just open up your screen and try to fly by the seat of your pants for an interview, because you're going to be really caught off guard if you try to do that. So let me just start talking about the interview. This is step 1 in the hiring process. So for step 1, the interview, you will be face-to-face through the VIPkid portal, the same portal that I told you about before, with the picture of you, the picture of your interviewer, and then the picture of a lesson screen off to the side. Your interviewer in this interview, for the first one, will be someone that works for VIPkid that's actually in Beijing, in China. They're going to be in a call center in their cubicle. They're going to have a completely white background, headphones. They're going to speak English as a second language, so they are completely fluent, but you may hear some broken pieces here and there that don't sound exactly right, and that's because English is their second language. The Chinese culture is so friendly, so kind, so sweet, and my interviewer, her name was Freya. She was about my age, just a young girl, and was just amazing. She continues to email me even today to check on me. How's it going? I see you've gotten some good parent feedback. Looks like you're being very successful with VIPkid. We're so glad to have you. She's kept in touch. It just was an amazing experience. So for the interview, when you log in, it's going to last about 20 to 30 minutes. The first 5 to 7 minutes, she's going to say, "Tell me about yourself." Or she may say, "Tell me about your experience." She doesn't want to know that you live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, that you have a dog and 3 kids, that you love to go for hikes. That's not what she wants. She wants you to give her a verbal resume. So when she says that, you are on. So you need to start telling her your qualifications. Tell her about your degree. If you have any advanced degrees, you need to tell her about that. You need to tell her about any teaching experience that you have, and you need to quantify it. So, for example, I taught in the public school system for 9 years. And in those 9 years, every time I taught a class, a group, worked with children, there were ESL students in my class because that was the population of students that was in the area where I lived. And so I worked with ESL students all the time in my regular teaching job. So when I talked to her for my interview, I said to her, I taught as a lead teacher in a classroom for 9 years. I worked with English as a second language student throughout all those 9 years, I had to write and develop lesson plans that I had to change and adapt to meet the needs of English as a second language students for 9 years. So I quantified what I did. Same way with your, if you have church work, if you've worked with Vacation Bible School, if you've taught Sunday school, if you've nannied, if you've tutored, whatever you do, quantify it and explain how you think whatever that thing is you did is going to make you better teaching children that are English as a second language. So you're really selling yourself. VIPkid never asks you for a resume. So this is it. You are selling yourself. I would highly recommend having sticky notes around your computer. I did, just because I get nervous and I didn't want to get nervous and forget how long I had taught or to leave something out. Know that when you're doing this, they are checking off a rubric on you. So they're listening to you and they're clicking on a rubric, and this is how they're going to determine your pay. So you got to sell yourself in this. This is a really important step, and it's only 5 to 7 minutes. Okay? So once you finish this 5 to 7 minutes, then you're going to go into a little 10 to 12 minute section of the interview where you're going to actually teach a sample lesson for them. Now, you do get access to the sample lesson before the interview. When you schedule your interview, they will send you through your portal, they will send you the slides for the lesson. So you know what you're teaching so you can be prepared. I am going to put a link below this video to a teacher called Nancy Taylor, who is fantastic. She's way more exciting, bubbly, fun to watch than I am. She has amazing tips, not just for your interview, but also for your mock and also just for teaching in VIPkid in general. It's a long video. It's 13 minutes, but everything she says is amazing. It's spot on. It's right. I would highly encourage you to watch this Nancy Taylor video on how to just rock that interview, that 10 to 12 minute right there in the middle where you do the sample lesson. I highly encourage you to watch Nancy Taylor's video on her tips and tricks for how to do amazing with that. I would encourage you to have fun, be energetic, bring props, make sure you know your target sentences that are attached to the lesson. What is it that I need the kids to be saying to me? What is my part in this curriculum that I'm teaching? But watch Nancy Taylor for that 10 to 12 minute interview, the 10 to 12 minute part in the middle where you're actually teaching. Your interviewer will act like they are the child, and they will snap from the first part where you're telling them your resume. They'll go from that into, all right, are you ready to teach your lesson? And then they will revert to like a 5 or 6 year old child in front of your screen. They'll pretend to be a kid. And I thought this was going to be awkward. I was like, this is going to be so awkward. They're an adult. It's not. They do it all day long. It's like their thing. So they don't act awkward about it. So you just got to act like they're a kid and just go with it. I promise it's going to be great. So that's the middle piece, the 10 to 12 minute part. When you finish that at the end, there's another 5 to 7 minute part at the end. Now for this part, they're going to take the first part and they're going to give you feedback on your lesson. They're going to say, go back to slide 3. Let me show you what you could have done better here. I really liked how you did this. You could have tried this, do this next time. They're going to give you feedback because they want you to be better. They want to teach you. They're amazing. And so they're going to give you feedback. They're going to give you encouragement. They're going to tell you what you did well, what you need to work on. At the end of your lesson, they'll do that. Then, this part is super important. This is just as important as the beginning where you did your resume. They're going to make you an offer. Now, the way the pay works with VIPkid is they pay you per class. Now, when I write on this board, it's going to look backwards to you, but the really cool thing about the VIPkid classroom when you log in is it magically flips your text. I have not figured out yet how it does it, but the VIPkid portal will flip your text for you. Mine isn't, so you're going to have to use your imagination. Now, they will pay you anywhere from $6 to $9, and this is per class. Now, remember, each class lasts 25 minutes. So this is just for 25 minutes. Now, I have never met a new hire that made $9. When they renew your contract, if you've been with them for 6 months, sometimes they'll bump people to $9, but as a new hire, the highest I've ever heard anyone getting is $8.50. So you'll be in the $6 to $8.50 range, and they'll make you an offer based on your rubric. So they'll say, well, this teacher scored let's say 75. I don't know. I make my number 75. This teacher can earn $8 per class. So they'll say, well, does $8 per class sound acceptable to you? And if it if it doesn't, then this is your chance to kind of go back and forth and say, no, I think I have more experience in that. And kind of, I've never heard of anybody arguing their offer and being successful. You can. I didn't argue mine. Whatever they said, I just took, and I was very grateful for what they gave me. So I'm just going to give you an example of kind of how this works in case you're wondering how much you're going to make. I'm just going to use I'm just going to use $8 as an example. So let's say they make you an offer of $8 per class. That's $8 per 25-minute class. Now, if you sign up to class, if you arrive to class on time, they automatically pay you $1 just for being on time. So that's plus $1. So now you're at $9 a class. Now, after you've taught 45 classes within a month's time, they give you another $1 raise per class. I would highly recommend trying to hit 45 classes in a month period. That's always my goal. My goal is only to hit 45 because they give you this extra $1 bonus per class, and it's a huge bonus. So that's plus this $1 for teaching 45 classes. So that means that you're making $10 per class. Now you could teach 2 classes in an hour because they're 25-minute classes. So if you're making $10 per class, that puts you at $20 per hour. So that is how much you would make per hour if they offer you a base pay of $8. Now they may offer you a base pay of $7.50. They may offer you a base pay of $7. They may offer you a base pay of $6.50. They may offer you a base pay of $6. It goes in 50-cent increments. So, and everybody is different. So I can't tell you what they're going to offer you. I can just tell you that you need to be really prepared for that opening part where you're giving your verbal resume, and you need to be really prepared for your lesson and really do well, because all those things are going to count towards the offer they're going to make you. But this is how it works. So if you hear $8 per class, I remember thinking, that's not what they told me I was going to be able to make with VIPkid. It's per class, and you have all these incentives that stack on top of it. Okay? All right. So, yeah, so at the end of that, she's going to ask if that's what if you're comfortable with that pay, and then she's going to tell you that she's going to type it up and send it to you in a contract and an email, and mine came right away. As soon as I logged out, I had my contract. I was able to go from there, and so that is step 1. That's the interview process, and then step 2 that I'm going to do next video is called Mock 1, where once you're hired, they actually start preparing you and teaching you how to teach and work with these kids using their curriculum. It kind of goes into like back to college where they're preparing you for being a teacher. They make sure you're prepared, which I love about this company. They don't just throw you in. So, all right, I hope that's helpful. Good luck. Bye.